Hey guys, welcome back. Tisha here, back with another recap of Sister Wives. This is season 20, episode 17, One on One, part 2. My apologies in advance for all of the sound you may be hearing. I'm actually hoping that I don't get hit with copyright strikes because the neighbors have been playing music, loud music at that, all day, like all day. And I really am considering getting another job because I need to move. Like I legit need to get out because I'm so extremely frustrated. But this is one of the things that happens when you live in an apartment. Okay, I'm ranting. Now let me go ahead and begin by saying that there are parts of this that I may not have. If you want to talk about it, put it down in the comment section below. I found myself being extremely frustrated with this entire thing. I think certain segments were too long. I do think we learned some information, but then there were points where I wasn't sure if what we was hearing was accurate because one minute you would say, Mary, that you didn't want the full equity of your home, but then the next you're saying that you sent it to the lawyer saying that you did. So I don't quite know what to believe. I think it's like Christine said, where there are little truths here and there, but is everybody telling the 100% truth? Who knows? You all put down in the comment section for me below, out of Mary, what she said, what Janelle said, what the Feather Crew said. Who are you believing when it comes to the story about this equity? So we begin the episode with Mary snitching on the bird, right? As a reminder, Robin waited, we were told by Janelle, for the last minute to say that she was not going to sign the stuff for the title company with the whole Poolville situation, Coyote Pass, if you're new here, unless Mary signed this NDA. Now, some of us weren't sure what the whole NDA thing was needed for, why it was even necessary, but it has to do with them not wanting Mary to disclose information about the money that they put into the McMansion. When they originally bought that house, we were told that Janelle and Mary put money into that house from their houses that sold so Robin could get her home. Robin back then was saying it was an asset for the family. Robin back then was saying it was about the family. I'm saying it multiple times because that's what she kept on telling us, and now the story is changed. She said that it was an asset for the family, but it never included anyone else's name. So the bird and the bald eagle are the only people whose names are on that deed. So it proves it was never about being an asset for the family. Mary is calling this whole money that she gave a loan, but she says that it at times is referred as a contribution. I've heard Cody do it later on in the episode and call it a gift. Either way, it's money that she did not get back that she put into that McMansion once it was sold, because Cody has overcomplicated this thing to the max with the way that their finances are intertwined, that even if it is something that we all feel like she deserves, Mary's probably never going to get that money back because he has made it his business to make sure that he is protected in everything and they are not. So Mary says the house sold and it doubled its value, but that situation in her mind had nothing to do with Coyote Pass. So she doesn't know why the NDA was brought up for that. Now, the Baldy tells Suki that the money that they got from Janelle and Mary was a gift. That is his story, and he is sticking to it. I feel like this conversation is frustrating because there's so many different sides to all of it, right? And I don't believe any of them. I don't believe the Feather Crew. And I want to hear like what the other ladies have to say, but they're spinning this thing in so many different directions that it's like this complicated, unnecessary web of lies. So he says that the proceeds from Mary's house in Vegas, as far as he's concerned, are half his. I do not understand why they are half his when we know that for the rest of the ladies, All of their payments that they made on their homes were on their own. It wasn't something that the bald eagle actively put money into. We were told many, many seasons ago that the family fund was the down payment for all those houses. The family fund is all of their money. So how is it that he is thinking he's supposed to get like double from every single, like Cody made out like nobody's business. Cody is basically letting us know that he made the most money out of all of them, him and his bird, because you're telling me that you really feel like you were supposed to get 50% of each one of those ladies' houses? That's wild to me. When it was the family fund that supposedly paid for the houses to be built. So he's talking about how the ladies wanted 25% of their money, from the Coyote Pass place, and he and his wife put extra money into it, and that they wanted the money that he and Robin no, they wanted the money that they put into Robin's house back, but he hadn't been compensated for the money that he supposedly put into their homes. He gave Janelle something back. I don't understand why Christine isn't included in this conversation and why Christine never gave money. Something about this sounds funky to me. It's like he got the money from the two people he could play the most. I guess maybe Christine needed her money because Christine bought her house and that was always her intention. So she didn't have to go through that. But something, yeah, it's not adding up to me. So let the bird tell it. Janelle is 100% squared away. Mary and him, according to the bald eagle, still haven't figured things out in terms of the whole loan money situation. So the bird says that they talked about the whole non-disclosure thing because it was like, let's not fight about finances publicly. You all did not have a conversation about the non-disclosure. You presented a non-disclosure to Mary and expected her to adhere to it. This is not you all having a conversation. This is you making your demands and expecting her to follow suit, trying to make yourselves not seem like the thieves that I feel like you guys are. So the bird says, Mary was asking for things. Mary was asking for things that didn't seem fair. You are one to talk about what's fair and about what's not fair when you are the one who took the most from the family, period. But we're going to act like that's not a thing. So Mary refused to sign because she didn't want to be silenced. Then the bird starts talking about how her and Cody put money into Coyote Pass that they had that the others didn't. And I'm confused because this whole entire time Cody has been acting like he was the one who put this extra money in. So did the Feather Crew not get their story straight before they decided to come up here on TV and lie? Because that's what it all seems like to me, a bunch of lies. And what exactly did you put money in there for? Because from my understanding, the other ladies did what they were supposed to do. So like, it doesn't make sense to me. So Janelle then says that she actually signed the NDA along with the Feathered Crew, but people are saying things so it's not being honored. This is why Janelle hasn't been saying certain things, because Janelle signed an NDA. Janelle, why did you sign an NDA? Why would you want to be silenced? I don't understand what the problem is with these people and why their elevator is supposed to be going to the 5th floor, but it's dangling on the 4th. Like, what are we doing here, people? Why? So Janelle says, the bird came 2 to 3 days before the contract expired with this NDA, while Robin says it was there from day one. Janelle feels like the whole situation, that what Robin did was a power play, all right? And the bird feels like she's only calling it that because she got caught backstabbing Mary. So this is what you guys are sticking to. This is your story and you're sticking to it. You want me? Oh, I gotta calm down. You're trying to make it seem like Janelle was the one who thought to go behind Mary's back, When in looking at this and seeing how things have played out previously, I don't think Janelle wanted to really go behind Mary's back. I think that Janelle wanted stuff to move along. I think that Janelle maybe repeated what her attorney said, like some of you all said in the comment section, but I do not feel like she really intended to jack Mary up, because there was no reason in Janelle alerting Mary to certain things if those were her intentions. I came to that conclusion after reading a lot of what you all said, and I can see it that way. Like, it makes sense to me coming like that. Mary basically is the only one who stood her ground, which goes back to showing why a lot of times they feel like Mary is so problematic, because Mary doesn't let things slide the way some of the rest of them do. So Mary is like, she never demanded full equity of her home in Vegas, even though it did make sense that she would get her full equity. But Mary, I got to call a thing, and you're lying there, because you later say at one point you did, and you later say that you told your lawyer that you wanted the full amount. Now, you changed it up early on, but at one point you did want full equity, and you got to like make sure that you're clear about that, because if you're not, you are going to look like you're lying. All right. And people already question some of the stuff that you say and do just because of your past, Mary. So you got to be clear here. Okay. She said that as far as her house is concerned, she was the one who really lived in it. She's not saying Cody didn't live in it at all, but we know that he lived in it for a very short time, right? And she says that she made all the payments, but she didn't feel like fighting him about it. Suki, like me, is trying to figure out why Baldy gets the full, gets the money. So Suki, I want you to ask him that. So Mary says she gave him the entire amount of equity from her house that she sold in Vegas, and he used that entire amount for Robin's home. The girl, do you guys realize like how diabolical that is? That man was able to convince her to give him all of her money, when at that point he hadn't been sleeping with her for almost a decade. He hadn't been intimate with her for almost a decade. He hadn't even considered her his wife, and she was willing to do all of that. Oh God, I'm so, Mary, I really do hope that you worthied up, because this is crazy. So she says she originally agreed to never talk about it, but here she is. The Bird says Mary told her that she wanted all of it. I said, did she really? I do think that Mary at some point did say that she wanted all of it. You guys let me know what you think. So she then adds that, she gave Cody, the Bird says, I gave Cody half the equity from the sale of my home too. That makes absolutely no sense to me, because why would you give him equity for the sale of your house when you're taking other people's equity to help buy your house? Robin, you're a liar, and the truth is not in you, girl. It just doesn't make sense. Am I missing something here? Please let me know. So Mary's like, look, Cody barely lived with me. Robin disagrees. Isn't it ironic how the person who wasn't in that house seems to know so much about what was going on in that house? Isn't it ironic who the person who was last in this family seems to have benefited the most from this family? Isn't it ironic how the person who has not had a job since Sister Wife Closet, and we already know that wasn't doing nothing, has not had a job since Sister Wife Closet, has all this money coming out of nowhere to buy things and put to Coyote Pass and all this other stuff? So Mary feels like she put a lot of money into her home in Vegas, but according to the Bird, the bald eagle was paying Mary's insurance and other bills. Robin, little birdie, eyebrows, crybaby, whatever you call her, we don't believe you. Rob 'em, sob 'em, gobble 'em. Gob him. We don't believe you. And when you're talking and you keep doing like this, and you're blinking, blink, 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 blink. When you keep blinking like that, It's not helping. It's not helping the situation at all. It makes me wonder, Robin, if you even ever paid your own mortgage. I'm beginning to believe that Bald Eagle did that too. Maybe that's why you got your new house and y'all have already taken out some type of loan on that. I saw what people were saying on the internet, on Reddit, and it's just too much for me to understand. But that's wild too. It's giving y'all are house poor and you should have stayed put where you were at. Or maybe you should have did like what a lot of the others have done and downsize. So Mary is like, I paid my bills, okay? Robin wouldn't know what went on in my house. I paid my bills, and my insurance payment was attached to my mortgage payment, which is what happens in terms of a lot of houses. I know that that's the case, right? So all of this to me, I wrote, is confusing and repetitive. So Janelle says there was no backdoor deal. Cody told the bird that there was a backdoor deal to sell the property from under Mary. Robin is talking about how she got mad when she heard it and she felt a way about it. And Cody was basically threatening her, telling her she needs to make sure that she does this and all this other stuff. Like they're going to do this, they're going to do this, they're going to do this. But I thought you said that Cody and Janelle were trying to sell their property out from the both of you. But Robin, it doesn't sound like they were ever trying to sell it out from you because Cody made you privy to it immediately because it was actually his plan. Anyways, so Robin got mad and she told him supposedly that she would take legal action. Who the believes that? If you believe that, let me know because I don't believe it. So as far as she's concerned, Janelle is playing both sides because one minute she's buddy with Mary and the next she's trying to go behind her. I would say that Janelle is probably doing that, but guess what? Y'all all do it because Mary does it too. One minute she was buddy with Janelle. The next, the moment that Cody told her something false or something negative about Janelle, rather than calling Janelle and getting verification, she automatically believes the bald eagle. So all of y'all let this man be the snake that he is and cause all types of division in your lives. Okay. So she told Cody that they would do this the right way and they would make sure that, Mary is treated fairly. So Christina's like, look, this is a perfect example of why our family just did not work. Like it just didn't, because Cody would do this type of stuff all the time. He would get with one wife to determine what he was going to do with the others. Christine, thank you for saying that because that's what he did. He caused confusion and he did it intentionally. Now, the bird can't figure out why Cody was willing to partner with anyone to do something immoral. Oh my goodness. When she said that, I was like, because why? He didn't do it with you? He's done immoral things his entire time with you. So she's like, I told him, you're better than this. You're not being the man that I married. You're not. She goes on this whole spill. It's the dramatics once again. And if I hadn't seen all these years for myself, what it is that she does, I would have actually maybe believed her because she managed to have tears in her eyes after 20 seasons. After 20 seasons, y'all, she got it right. She got it right. She said when Mary handed over the legal marriage and, Cody and I were supposed to get legally married so, he could adopt my kids. I was very nervous because I hated having the law involved. So, we had an intimate conversation where I said, if I ever want out of this, I need your promise. She really y'all, I'm tired. It's been really, really long. I'm just getting back. Anyways, yeah, I need your promise that you're gonna let me go. He said, oh God, if I ever had a wife leave me, I would be the guy that bought my wife a house down the street for her and her kids. I'd be the guy to befriend her new man. And I took him at that promise. So when I see him doing this, oh crap, oh crap. I reminded him, remember what you told me. Remember what you promised me. Where's that guy? Soki's like, when I said, I was like, what in the world? I done made myself cry. I was looking at the screen like, what is going on? Okay. First things first, if the spiritual marriage means more than this paperwork, because that's what we've been told all of these years, why didn't she have this conversation with him way before? Why did it take you getting legally married for you to want to do that? Second, Robin, we really don't care about your performance and we don't believe you because you are married to a man that has never been honest about his intentions when it comes to these other women. He got mad because when they left, so did their money. That's what this all boils down to. He lost the money. He ends up looking stupid. He is seen as a failure in his community, and he doesn't want to be seen that way. It's all about optics, period. It's all about optics. So the next thing you know, we pan back to the bald eagle, and he calls Robin, the moral compass of the Cody Brown family. Cody Brown, there is no Cody Brown family anymore. It's you, your bird, and her kids. Like, you like to say that like the Cody Brown family is full of all these people, but you've iced out the Cody Brown family. So Janelle says that the bird is this paragon of righteousness, and she's laughing about it. And she's like, look, you give power to get power. Mary says Robin isn't her moral compass. All she knows is that at one point, Robin did want things to be fair, but she's learned over the years that they all have different opinions on what is fair. So as they're having this discussion and Suki is going back playing telephone with everybody, Robin gets a little hot during this, all right? She says if she is loyal to Cody, no, she says even if she is loyal to Cody, and she loves him, she does not agree with the things that he does. I couldn't tell because you didn't call him out on how he treated his kids. You didn't call him out on the way that he iced out family. You didn't call him out on the way he took money from his wives. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that you didn't call him out on. Okay? She does not agree with his attitudes. She says, I have a very strict moral compass because I don't believe in this kind of crap. But what she does believe is, I don't know, back during stabbing her ex in the back when it came to their biological father. You do believe in lying about him. You do believe in accusing him of taking away your purity. You do believe in causing division. And I'm not saying it's all on her because the bald eagle played a major role in this as well. But you're not going to sit here and act like your moral compass is all the way up here when it's trash, boo-boo. We see you for who you are. We're not Cody. Do we know you personally? No. But the person that you've shown yourself to be on our television screens isn't a nice person. At least not in my opinion. So she doesn't feel like she did anything for Mary to question her. She says she didn't trust Mary enough to tell her what was going on. She wasn't about to tell her what Janelle and Cody were trying to do because that's her husband. And all Mary would have done was created more problems. Y'all always act like Mary, and by y'all, I'm talking about the brown people. Y'all always act like Mary is this horrible person who causes all this stuff when all Mary wanted was what she was owed. And I personally feel like all of them still got cheated. Because what do y'all have to show for the millions that you've made? Because understand, this family has made millions. So the bird says, I did what I could based on what Mary has done in our relationship. I am not going to sit here and be disloyal to Cody. If Mary maintained her relationship with me, then maybe I would have said something. But she has burned so many bridges with me. I really, really, when she said it, it was the way she said it. Like, how dare Mary go against her? How dare Mary speak about her in any matter other than a positive one? I really, really would love to see someone knock that hoe off her perch. Y'all forgive me, but that is the way I'm feeling right now. Like, you're doing too much, Robin, and you really feel like you are high and mighty, and you're not. And I just don't understand how none of these women have knocked her out by now. If I was in that family, I would have been in jail. I would have. Because Robin is a little bit too comfortable with being disrespectful and talking out the side of that beak. So she feels like Mary trashed her, and she doesn't know why. She doesn't understand why their relationship is so different. Mary does not agree that Robin hasn't given her a reason to trust her. As far as Mary's concerned, Robin has given her plenty of reasons. She personally wishes that someone would have told her about the deal. So the bald eagle asked the bird not to sign the whole NDA thing because he had already signed the paperwork first. Not the NDA, the title thing. He already signed the stuff, and he was afraid that she would sign, and he didn't want her to sign until Mary did. You know, it's always a tactic. He says that the lawyer actually said that he isn't required to give Mary any of her equity back, but they will give her something because that's what they should do morally. I just can't. I like, do y'all want a cookie because you're doing the right thing? You should have given it back to her already. And how you going to give her back money when you're taking out loans on your new house? It's making me feel like you're broke, or maybe you're waiting for the next Sister Wives check. I don't know. Special Forces didn't give you enough of a check, Cody Brown. Like, what's going on here? So Cody claims that all the not the the Pooville stuff, is what made him do his apology tour. So we start with Christine's part of the apology tour and get flashbacks of that. And he again talks about how he wants Christine to feel free. You know, he wants her to feel free. She is already free. You're not doing her any favors. She was good. Like David said, it's been years later. Before I forget, I did not really care for David or Christine in this segment. I am not married. I have never been married. I was engaged. I've told y'all that before, but that's about as far as it's gone for me. So there are some things that I may be wrong on. And my father does not watch this show, but I really want to ask his opinion on some things. But for those of you who are married, please give me your input on this situation, because I personally feel like Christine and David, y'all were doing a little bit too much for me in this segment, acting like it was disrespectful for a man that you were married to and you had all these children with to openly admit that he lied when he said he didn't love you. I don't understand what was so disrespectful about him admitting that he lied in front of David. Anyways, Cody tells us that he watched Christine and David's wedding and he smiled through the entire thing almost. You're a liar. He says it was good to see her happy and her dreams come true. That's not what he was giving on the day of. If I recall, when they were filming and they were talking about this, he started going on a tangent about something, and it was getting to the point where he seems in such a huff. His feathers were molting so much that the bird leaned in and gave him this awkward kiss and then fanned the people away to shut him up. Even his smile in that moment, as he's telling how he was so happy, seems so disingenuous. There's nothing about that thing that's real. I think that he watched that wedding to take note of all the people in attendance that were not loyal to him. Cody likes to be in the center of attention. Cody likes to be in the family mosh pit, and Cody didn't get any of that. So the subject of him saying that he wasn't attracted to Christine comes up, and he starts talking to Suki about how he did find her attractive at this one time in a pantsuit. Cody, you already told us you didn't find her attractive. You said it in the book. Don't try to take it back now. He then starts making excuses, saying that, it wasn't that about the physical attraction. It was about the trust attraction. I don't even understand what that is. So Christine's like, look, I'm glad that he didn't mention that. It's inappropriate for him to even mention that, being attracted to her at this point. So Janelle is asked if, you felt like Cody was sincere of that, and she believes in the apology tour. Christine feels like the bald eagle saying that he did love her made her uncomfortable, and it was disrespectful to David. She feels like David was angry. She even says he was annoyed by it. David tells us it's been years at this point, and as far as he's concerned, it was wrong. I just don't feel like that is that big of a deal. I don't know. Maybe it's because the dynamic is different. But when I say that I am realizing more and more that my parents are a different breed in the way that they handle their divorce, and my bonus mom is as well. Like, I spent this weekend with my bonus mom and my father, and when I say we had a ball, my father, whenever he comes into town, always brings little goodies, and in front of my bonus mom, make sure you give this, this, and this to your mom. They've been at birthday parties together. They've done things together. My father has hugged my mother and said, "You look good, girl," in front of her. No disrespect, but because there is a mutual appreciation for one another. They are not in love. They started off as friends. Things didn't work out for the both of them when it came to their marriage, but they've always had a certain respect for one another because of their love for me. And my mother has always respected his dynamic with my bonus mom because they've had their own children. So I don't understand why this is so big of a deal, because it's just, I just like saying that you once loved her. Is that bad? Let me know down below. Seriously. And y'all know, it doesn't bother me if you all don't agree with me. This has never been that type of channel. I take pride in hearing other people's opinions, because sometimes y'all make me reflect and other times I just really don't know. So please let me know if there's a problem with it. But as far as David is concerned, that meeting wasn't even really about hearing what anyone else had to say. This is the one thing that I like that David said, because he's like, the meeting wasn't about hearing what Christine had to say or how Christine felt. It was about him getting his point across. It wasn't about what was best for the family or her. It was about him, and it was. So him even mentioning, he says the Moab thing was testing to see where Cody was at. I just don't like, you don't need to test him. That's not your job. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, because he very much so lives with Truly, is a father figure to Truly, is a father figure to a lot of his kids, and is there and is supporting and is doing things. McKelty even said, I saw a clip on her Patreon where she was like, if I call David and ask David, could he come here to do this? David is going to stop what he's doing to come here and to do this. So I'm not saying that David does not love Christine and all of their children. I believe that he does. But sometimes I don't agree with some of David's thought process, right? So David feels like Robin should have been there too. I do agree that she should have been there. But she doesn't feel like she needed to be there. Robin feels like, they're feeling like it could have been awkward, but it also may have healed Christine in hearing that, Cody did love her. What don't the Feather Crew get that Christine has moved on from this man? There may be moments where she still has things that she needs to work through, but I don't feel like she needs anything from Cody other than to show up for his kids. Now, David feels like the Feather Crew doesn't have common sense or logic. Cody says David means well, but David doesn't know ish. Especially not anything when it comes to polygamy. Like he thought he did too, but he doesn't know ish. And he's not interested in getting his advice. We saw that. We know that you're not. And if I were David, I would just stop communicating with you at this point. It's not like you got to have a co-parenting relationship. He doesn't parent. So like leave him out. He says that he finds David likable, but David doesn't know him and he doesn't know David. Cody says all he wanted to say was that, he when he said that he never loved Christine, he wasn't being honest with himself. It wasn't a lie, but it was. You're not making any sense here, Cody. You're not making any sense. Y'all, I was like, what am I doing here? He says that when they were married, he did love Christine. He is sorry if David felt offended by him saying that when they were at the table, but he does not feel like he broke bro code because David was talking about breaking bro code. He's not your bro. Yeah. Anyways, so Christine and her man think that Robin should have came. David says Christine wouldn't have been, with him alone. That's my wife and yada, yada, go. David, I didn't really like this side of you. It came off as a little possessive to me and I didn't care for it. But that's all I got. If there's something that I missed, y'all feel free to put it down below. Hopefully, as I said, this doesn't get knocked. I try to have Alexa playing some water sounds in the background because the music is so loud. And I guess I need to invest into a microphone. But when I tried to use one before, I guess it was too cheap because it didn't do nothing for me. But thank you all so much. Let me know your thoughts on and opinions on this. A like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. If you're new to the channel, I have other things up here as well. I just today put up a recap of Love After Lockup. Don't judge me. I don't know why I like to watch the criminals, but I do. So just, peruse. I also am starting a new book on Monday. What is it called? Oh, I don't even have it up here. I think it's Unspeakable or something like that. I already read a chapter, baby. I think this is going to be a good book. Anyways, I'm rambling. I love you guys. Until next time. Peace.